Hey guys, decided to do a little bit of vlogging today. I'm getting kind of behind on my vlogs, so with editing them and everything. So I'm not going to do a whole bunch of vlogs and edit a whole bunch of them because then they'll be backdated. So I'm just going to do them as I get caught up. I'll do some more vlogs. I thought it was time to probably do another books that I own that you need to read. Okay. First of all, we're going to go back to the library that I've got and grab a book. And you'll have to pardon me if I don't have this right on my face. I don't have a way to see exactly, a little mirror or anything to see. We're going to go back to the library here, and we're going to grab this book right here, The Power of Focus. Okay? This book is coming with me. And then we'll go ahead and go back in here and grab another book that I have been reading, and I've started to do a little bit of a routine. This book is called No Excuses by Brian Tracy. I started to do a little bit of a routine here, and that is every morning try to get up and maybe read a little bit of scripture and then read one chapter in some books. I just finished The Power of Focus for about the second time. This book is very amazing. I'm going to put this on macro mode so it won't blur when I get it up here. This book is written by Jack Canfield, Mark Victor Hansen, and Les Hewitt. Les Hewitt is the main guy behind this. He is still doing the Power of Focus seminars and things like that today. He has a website, powerfocus.ca, I think, powerfocus.com, and he still does seminars today. And he is amazing. He's that guy right there on the left, on the right. So Jack Canfield, Mark Victor Hansen, and Les Hewitt. Now the cool thing about this book is, I'm just going to talk while I pan this here. Cool thing about this book is that they just came out with, a couple years back, a 10th anniversary version of this. Now the chapters are a little bit different. They have pretty much the same chapter, but there's one that's not there anymore, and that's the Be Alert system. It's not, at least it's not in the table of contents, and it may be in the book, but it's not in the table of contents. But this book really, by the way, Mark Victor Hansen and Jack Canfield, if you don't know, are, like it says here, are the creators of the Chicken Soup for the Soul books. Okay, and there's a ton of those, more than 50 million copies worldwide, different books. So this book is recommended by Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. If you'll look in the front of this book, it's also recommended. It's also got tons of recommendations. It's got recommendations by, Nightingale Conant, Brian Tracy. I've been reading, like I said, that's his book right here. He's one of the top guys, gurus in marketing and business development. Jim Rohn, the America's foremost business philosopher, recommends this book. All kinds of names here you may or may not recognize. Richard Carlson, the guy that don't sweat the small stuff, he's recommended this book. And just like I said, the list goes on and on and on, and even to the back here. So this book is really recommended, and just to give you an idea of what it is about, we got some, basically, we have the purpose of this book. We have your habits, focusing strategy 1, habits will determine your future. And this book has what are called action steps that will help you and give you things to do and take action, so that you can focus and, use your focusing strategy on actions that matter. Strategy number 2, I've got a star here. This is the way I do my books. I usually put a star by the key points. This strategy number 2, it's not hocus pocus, it's all about focus. This is a key chapter. If you get in a bookstore and you want to read some of this and kind of go over it, read that chapter. That will give you an idea of the rest of the book. Number 3, do you see the big picture? Number 4, creating optimum balance, the Be Alert system. This is the chapter, I think, that is not in the 10th anniversary edition. If it is, it's not listed in the table of contents. Number 5, building excellent relationships. Spending time focusing on building relationships for sales and for personal life. And number 6, confidence. Having confidence in yourself and your abilities. 7, asking for what you want. And I apologize if this is a little bit low lighting here. So let's go ahead and sit down here and get a little bit more in the sunlight. Number 8, consistent persistence. Okay. Number 9, taking decisive action, which is very important if you want any kind of things to be done. And I'm thinking the lighting's more, it's worse over here, I don't know. Number 10, living on purpose. And the final words. Okay, so just to give you an idea, this book is amazing. Okay, I've went back and I have read this thing twice, and like I said, I go through this book, I put little stars, here that you know, next to things that really jump out to me. And the reason I do this is, and I learned this too. I picked up a library book where they had these little brackets penciled in, so I started doing that. I don't think it looks as good now, so I just started doing stars here. The reason I do this is because if I want to go back in a hurry and read this book, I can go look at these starred areas or the bracket areas and kind of, you know, pick up the highlights of the book and the main parts of the book. Okay, so different things. I'm sure you do the same thing. Some stars like that. And but like I said, this book, you know, it has some cool little cartoons and things like that for entertainment. And if I can find it, my favorite one is right over here. It's in chapter 2. Take a look at that. That's one of my favorite ones right there. This guy looks like Jerry Garcia or David Grisman. Carl's one of those people who looked at the hand he was dealt and began playing the cards. And he's got all these whisk brooms for sale. You can probably tell where that came from. Okay? So anyway, back to this. I'm going to leave a link below down here, and so that will take you to a video that I have found very useful by Les himself. And there's another guy called James Rick, and I've watched this thing, you know, several times in a month. I watched it like maybe once a week for a month, and I still refer back to it. And it's about Les talking over the basics of that book. And the main theme, basically, of the book is focus on what you do best and let go of the rest. And this really will help key in the main areas of your business life, personal life, whatever, that you find are the most valuable, and eliminating everything else or delegating it. There's a lot of it about delegation and hiring other people, like virtual assistants, like I've been doing with my Bluegrass guitar course, and things that I could do myself, but that I'm not either proficient at, don't have time for, or that just stress me out to no end. It's better to focus on what I'm good at and not be stressed, and feel lighthearted and free to do that, so that I can be my personal best and let somebody else do the rest. Okay, I'll leave a link below to that video. You've got to watch that. It's only 24 minutes. Totally worth your time. Okay, so that's pretty much. I could go on and on about this book. So let's go to the next book. I'm still reading this book, No Excuses, by Brian Tracy. Now, Brian Tracy has authored tons of books, probably 50 or more, on sales, and he has a lot of these. I've seen him one time on a YouTube video where he's talking about, you know, how he, you know, kind of designs his books, and a lot of it is like, if you see the headline, 21 ways to achieve so and so, or 10 ways to do this, or 3 tips. You know, he uses a lot of numerical things, and that's kind of his template, and it works. I found this when my wife and I was on I think it was our anniversary. We went to Alabama, and I went to Barnes & Noble. First time I ever been to one of these. And I found this book, bargain price, and it just kept calling to me. We were there for 3 days, and I went to the Barnes & Noble for 3 separate days and finally said, I've got to get this book. I am very lacking in self-discipline. That's what this book is about, the power of self-discipline. And I really need, you know, something to kick me in the butt. And this book has kicked my butt, okay? If you remember, there's another video that I've commented about and left some links on. And if I can remember it, I will do the same thing here, called Eat That Frog. And it's a video that's actually an audiobook that's on YouTube you can listen to completely free. And I think it's about an hour and a half maybe. It talks about doing the most important thing, or the most looming thing, the big frog, eating that first, doing that first in the day, so that everything else can go downhill and, you know, be a little easier. So, like this says, eat your dinner before dessert. You know, have the self-discipline to get done what you need to get done before you go into something else. And I'm just kind of paying this as well. This book is really been a lifesaver for my business. You know, I still find myself slacking, and when I read this book, it gets me right back into where I need to be. So basically, this is just, you know, kind of like a companion to that Eat That Frog book. And let's go over and see what the table of contents talk about. Right now, I am, let's see here, I'm about that way through. I'm almost done with it. When I get done, I've got some other business books and some other things to read. And I usually read in between 1 or 2 books at the same time. Just switch back and forth between them. So here's what we got. Part 1, self-discipline and personal success. So we have chapter 1, and the stars are the ones that I thought were the most helpful. So like again, when I go back and read this again, I can read the start areas, and it'll kind of give me the most important contents that I found in this book, so that I don't have to read the whole thing. That's my version of speed reading. Part 2, self-discipline in business, sales, and finances. Right now, I just finished chapter 11, self-discipline in sales. Time management is a big thing. If you haven't seen Brian Tracy's time management videos, you need to go check those out. They're amazing. Part 3, self-discipline and the good life. Basically personal, you know, areas of life. Okay, so it's got 21 chapters. Once again, 21 ways to achieve lasting happiness and success. This book is very, you know, straightforward. You have a chapter title, you have a quote, and you have, you know, sometimes you have little stories here, and you have little headlines that kind of divide it out. Okay, so this book is very good to help you get motivated and to realize that you could be doing a whole lot more to increase your profits, increase your sales. You know, get in front of customers more. Don't be afraid of rejection in sales. Use your time wisely. Make the best of your time, because time is one of the most precious assets that we can't get back. So this is a book that I highly recommend. My favorite between these two is definitely, though, The Power of Focus. You've got to check this book out. Either you can get this one, or you can get the 10th anniversary one. And let's see, this book came out in, let's see, I think it was 2000. Yeah, 2000. Okay. 2010 anniversary came out a few years ago, and it's yellow. It doesn't look blue like this. It's yellow. So just to you know, keep you informed of that. The No Excuses came out in 2010. Okay, these are guys you definitely want to check out if you're into business, if you're into success and, you know, motivation. These 3 guys here, Jack Canfield, Mark Victor Hansen, are not just, you know, creators of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. They're very successful business people who have some really good ideas. Les Hewitt, I like to hear him talk. He's from Ireland, I think. He's got a little bit of an accent, but he's got some awesome videos. There's not many, but there's some awesome ones. Brian Tracy's got all kinds of videos. Another one to check out is Jim Rohn, the one I just said that recommended this book earlier. Those are those 2 books for you. I'll leave a link below in the description area, the show more area, where you can purchase these books on Amazon. And so if you need to know more information about those, just click on those. Definitely check these books out. They are very amazing. They will vary. If I would say get one over the other first, do The Power of Focus first, because it's awesome. Okay, it will motivate you. It will help you to no end. Okay, if you're looking to get better at your life and focus, I mean, have a laser-like focus on something. Because if you're anything like me, you get all distracted and things happen, and your focus is turned some other way. You don't have a focus. It's widespread. And if you're anything like me, you just get all frustrated and you feel like there's not enough time for everything, and you have to spread it out. That way you'll get it done quicker. Well, that doesn't work. Believe me, I've tried. You lose your energy that way. It's best to focus on one thing at a time, get it done, so that you can actually see things being completed. Okay? That's the key. That way will motivate you to get other things done. Okay? If you're always constantly working between 3 or 4 things, you're never seeing anything get done, and you have this huge pile of work ahead of you. All right? So that's just a little tip. So those are 2 more of the books that I own that you should read. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Hope those books will be helpful to you. Please like and comment below. Please subscribe, tell your friends if you like this video, if it made a difference to you. And I guess I'll see you on the next video, whatever that may be. Thanks so much for watching. God bless and good reading.